सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have taken many ideas from the Gospel for discussion. They are immensely beneficial for us who are seriously seeking spiritual life. Today's topic I have chosen: zealousness in spiritual life. In Sanskrit it is called utsaha. Zealousness plays a very important role in one's life. In order to achieve any goal, zealousness one should have. Zealousness includes self-confidence. First of all, one should be very strong in his spiritual conviction. He should not be shaky in the spiritual ideal which he is following. So the zealousness has to be applied at every stage in spiritual life. In order to fight the evil, zealousness is required. In order to fight the physical illness, zealousness is required. At the physical level, at the mental level, at the intellectual level, and at the spiritual level, in all these levels, zealousness is very essential. So, a person who is zealous surely reaches the goal. Sri Ramakrishna said to the devotees, it is in the Gospel, as a tiger devours other animals, so does the tiger of zeal for Lord eat up lust anger, and the other passions. Once this zeal grows in the heart, lust and the other passions disappear. The gopis of Vrindavan had that state of mind because of their zeal for Krishna. How nicely Sri Ramakrishna points out the importance of zealousness in spiritual life. There are many, many instances, episodes, stories regarding zealousness. Even the rishis had to pursue the spiritual life through zealousness. Probably you have heard of the great Maharshi Vishwamitra. He was a king, Kshatriya, who had no knowledge of spirituality. But then, at one time, when he went to the forest for hunting, he came to the Vasishtha Ashrama. All the people coming with the king were all tired, exhausted. They were feeling very hungry. Vishwamitra's previous name, as he was king, his name was Kaushik. So they just came to Vasishtha Ashrama to drink some water and to have some rest. And Vasishtha Maharshi showed great hospitality to Kaushik and his people. And also, he very affectionately invited them all to have lunch in the ashrama. And Kaushik was surprised because he had thousands of people, and this small hermitage where Vasishtha Maharshi was living, doing tapas, how can he manage to prepare food for thousands of people? But then Vasishtha Maharshi very emphatically said, don't worry about that. Go take bath and come. That is the usual practice. Taking bath, coming ready. See, that was the ancient tradition. It has got great significance. Why we take bath? To feel kind of purity. So eating the food is also an act of purity, you must know. People are forgetting the value and engage themselves in all sorts of talking while eating. But traditionally speaking, you should think of God, every morsel you take inside. In fact, the tradition was so strong that people would not speak while eating, even if they have to ask some dish. They have to show by sign, or in exceptional cases, they can use Sanskrit words. Because I myself have seen once a Shastri came to our home to do some ritual after the puja. After the worship was over, we all sat for taking food. And he wanted salt. So, but he was observing silence. He could not speak. But people could not understand what he wanted. Then he had to say in Sanskrit, Nunam Anaya. Nunam means salt. Anaya means bring the salt. Nunam Anaya. Then we were all laughing. But anyway, that's why even before we start eating, we offer prayers to the Lord and take the food. Whatever the food we take, part of the food gets converted into mind. So, food plays very important role in shaping the character of a person. So, Kaushik and other friends, they all went to take bath in the river. After finishing ablutions, they came to hermitage. They sat in a big row in the open field, and the food was being supplied, various types of dishes, unthinkable, most tasteful. All the people were extremely happy to enjoy that feast. And Kaushik, the king, he was a prince at that time, he was astonished, and he asked Maharshi, Sir, how is it you could prepare such celestial dishes, so tasteful? We never had that taste in our life before. And then Vasishtha Maharshi points out to a cow. He had a cow there. The name of the cow was Surabhi. That cow was given by Lord Indra to Vasishtha Maharshi because Vasishtha Maharshi was always engaged in some kind of yajna every day. Those days, Vedic period, all day through they will be doing some yajnas, invoking fire and offering oblations, etc. So they need lot of milk and ghee, things like that. So in order to give supply, the Lord of the heavens gave him special celestial cow. The name of the cow was Surabhi. And that cow had the capacity to prepare any dish, to bring any dish, any quantity. And that was how it was all supplied. After eating sumptuously, after feeling very happy, all the people were happy and snoring with great relaxation. And king, this Prince Kaushik, he began to think, well, this cow should stay in a place where the king is there. It is required for the king. Why this hermit should have it? Why should this ascetic should have? We, every day, we have got a lot of guests coming to our capital. So we need such cow. So he began to request Vasishtha Maharshi, please give that cow to us, and in place of that we can give you 1,000 cows if you want, etc., etc. Then Vasishtha Maharshi said, no, I'm not desiring any of your cows, and I have no power to say anything in this matter. If you want to take the cow, you ask her. If she comes, you take. Is it so? Then he began to take the cow. The cow refused to go, refused violently. Then he began to drag, it wouldn't go. Then he began to use force. Still it didn't go. Then it had to show its force. Then Surabhi came to Vasishtha Maharshi and took the permission. And it produced arms everything, and the whole army of the Kaushik, they are all crushed. They had to run back. And Kaushik began to fight. Nothing could be done. Then he made a statement, Brahma Tejo Balam Balam, Kshatriya Balam Dig Balam. Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. The Tejas of Brahman is unparalleled. Fie upon this valor of the Kshatriyas. What is this power? So, he took a revenge. Well, finally his mind began to set. Well, I must have that Brahma Tejas. Why not? So, he was a young man with full spirit. So, the zealousness was springing from his heart. With great zealousness, he went to forest, did tapas, got some boons from Shiva, and came to fight with Vasishtha Maharshi again, but he could not defeat Vasishtha Maharshi. Vasishtha Maharshi kept one danda in front of him. Whatever the missiles Kaushik was sending, they were all absorbed in that danda. It would not touch Vasishtha Maharshi. And again he went back. So he did not stop. Then he found, well, I must become Brahmarshi. What's the use of this fighting and all these things? I must become spiritually great. That's important. So his zealousness took a higher turn. So he did tapas in order to become Brahmarshi. In all the 4 directions. East, west, north, south, like that. 3 times he met with lot of hurdles, obstructions, difficult situations. He would rise to some spiritual height, but then his power was being wasted because of the obstructions. But then he did not yield to the obstructions. Again he raised up. He overcome all these passions, lust, anger. These were the main obstructions. Lust was the main obstruction. Heavenly damsels would come and spoil his tapas. He had to pass through a lot of hurdles, but then he was determined. His zealousness was not diminished. On the other hand, it went on increasing, and finally he succeeded. And then he became Brahmarshi. It is said that Vishwamitra Maharshi gave the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur Suvaha Tatsa Vidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Diyo Yo Na Prachodayat. That's the Gayatri. Famous Gayatri. And Rigved has got 10 mandalas. Each mandala has got Pradhan Rishi. Bharadwaja Mandal. Like that. And Vasishtha Mandal. 10 mandalas are that. So 10 Pradhan Rishis. And one of the Pradhan Rishis is Vishwamitra Mandal. Rigved, the whole mandala was discovered by him. So he went to the highest height and got the realization of the truth because of zealousness. So it's very important when you are pursuing spiritual life. Zealousness is must. Without zealousness, you can't make any progress in your spiritual way, because all the time you have to fight with evil, fight with impurities of the mind. It's a constant fight, maintaining the spiritual purity level at all times. But you should be determined, self-confident, and that will take care of everything. Sri Ramakrishna again tells, again This zeal for good, this zeal for God is compared to collyrium. Radha said to her friends, I see Krishna everywhere. They replied, friend, you have painted your eyes with the collyrium of love. That's why you see Krishna everywhere. Again Sri Ramakrishna says, all these words of Sri Ramakrishna I am taking from Gospel. They say that when your eyes are painted with collyrium made from the ashes of a frog's head, you see snakes everywhere. They are indeed bound souls who constantly dwell with lust and gold and do not think of God even for a moment. So even the little zealousness one has is destroyed by the poison of lust and gold. So, repeating God's name zealously is very essential in spiritual life. Zealous love of God is a path of bhakti. Weep for God in solitude with a restless soul and ask Him to reveal Himself to you. Cry to your mother Shama with a real cry, O mind, cry. And how can she hold herself from you? Addressing the devotees, Sri Ramakrishna said, the spiritual wisdom of worldly people is seen only on rare occasions. It is like the flame of a candle. No, it is rather like a single ray of the sun passing through a chink in a wall. Worldly people chant the name of God, but there is no zeal behind it. It is like children swearing by God, having learned the word from the quarrels of their aunts. Worldly people have no grit. If they succeed in an undertaking, it is all right. But if they don't succeed, it scarcely bothers them at all. When they need water, they begin to dig a well. But as soon as they strike a stone, they give up digging there and begin at another place. Perhaps they come to a bed of sand. Finding nothing but sand, they give that place up too. How can they succeed in getting water unless they continue to dig persistently where they started? So Brahmanji says, the Lord dwells in the hearts of His devotees. Call on Him earnestly, zealously. What is necessary, my child, is earnestness. The mother dwells in every heart, and she doesn't take into consideration how much time you put into your practice, but only how sincerely you do it. Sincerity is an indication of zealousness. If you are sincere, zealousness will work wonderful. The more earnestness you have in your practice, the greater will be the joy. Sincerity, earnestness, purity, these form the main foundation of a spiritual life. He reveals Himself whenever one supplies Him with earnestness and tears in the eyes. He manifests Himself in the heart of a devotee who is sincere and earnest. So, earnestness, also called as zealousness, earnestness itself is a mantra. No teaching can help one who is not in earnest. Search for him earnestly. You are sure to see him. Sri Ramakrishna is giving assurance. Search for him earnestly. You are sure to see him. So, we have to give attention to this quality of zealousness. Are we zealous? Simply lukewarm spiritual practices will not do. If you want to warm the water in a lukewarm way, how much time it will take for the water to become really hot? Long, long, long time. So also, if your devotion is lukewarm, it takes many, many births. So, first of all, you must be very definite about spiritual life, and you must be very strong in spiritual conviction, and you must be very sincere and zealous in applying the spiritual ideas in your daily life. All these things must be done. If you do it, you get the result. If you don't do it, you won't get the result. It is as simple as that. So many people talk about spirituality, but 1 in million only really understand or realize God. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita very clearly, millions and millions of people struggle to realize God. One among those millions will really realize me. Who is that one? One who is zealous. He will realize God. So, you have to ask yourself to what extent you are zealous in your spiritual practices. To what extent you are zealous in your spiritual life. That determines the end result. So, give attention and focus upon the zealousness. Result will come automatically. So, Sri Ramakrishna's teaching is so beneficial. Sincerity, zealousness, purity, these form the main foundation of a spiritual life. Zealousness itself, zealousness for the self, is a mantra. Hanuman was typical example of zealousness. Because he was zealous, he could find Sita. He was not afraid to cross the ocean even. So confident about the mantra which he was repeating, Rama. Just he repeated Rama's name and leaped over the ocean. He also underwent lot of hurdles on the way, but he was not shaken. Unshaken faith, tremendous confidence. Finally, got the result. He found Sita, came back and gave the happy news to Sri Ramchandra. So Hanuman's life is full of zealousness from beginning to end. If you want to practice zealousness, study Hanuman's life. There are many, many stories about the display of zealousness. Captain said, when Sri Krishna lived at Vrindavan, page 788, without any of his royal splendor, even then the gopis loved him more than their own souls. Therefore Sri Krishna said, how shall I be able to pay off my debt to the gopis who surrendered to me their all, their bodies, minds and souls? Captain's words awakened intense love for Krishna in the master's mind. He exclaimed, Govinda, 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 and was about to go into an ecstatic mood. Captain was amazed and said, how blessed he is, how blessed he is. Captain and the devotees watched this love ecstasy of Sri Ramakrishna. They sat quietly gazing at him, awaiting his return to the consciousness of the world. Master said, tell us more. Captain said, Sri Krishna is unattainable by the yogis, by yogis like you, but he can be attained by lovers like the gopis. How many years did the yogis practice yoga for his vision? Yet they did not succeed. But the gopis realized him with such ease. Master said smilingly, yes. He ate from the hands of the gopis, wept for them, played with them, and made many demands on them. A devotee said, a Bankim has written a life of Krishna. Master said, he accepts Krishna, but not Radhika. Captain said, I see, he doesn't accept Krishna's Leela with the gopis. Master said, I also hear that Bankim says that one needs passions such as lust. A devotee said, he has written in his magazine that the purpose of religion is to give expression to our various faculties, physical, mental and spiritual. Captain said, I see. He believes that lust and so forth are necessary, but he doesn't believe that Sri Krishna could enjoy his sportive pleasure in the world, that God could incarnate himself in a human form and sport in Vrindavan with Radha and the gopis. Master said smilingly, but these things are not written in the newspaper. How could he believe them? A man said to his friend, yesterday I was passing through a certain part of the city. I saw a house fall with a crash. Wait, said the friend, let me look it up in the newspaper. But this incident was not mentioned in the paper. Thereupon the man said, but the paper doesn't mention it. His friend replied, I saw it with my own eyes. Be that as it may, said the man, I can't believe it as long as it is not in the paper. How can Bankim believe that God sports about as a man? He doesn't get it from his English education. It is very hard to explain how God fully incarnates himself as man. Isn't that so? The manifestation of infinity in this human body, only 3.5 cubits tall. Captain said, Krishna is God himself. In describing him, we have to use such terms as whole and part. Master said, whole and part are like fire and its sparks. An incarnation of God is for the sake of the bhaktas and not of the jnanis. It is said in the Adhyatma Ramayana that Rama alone is both the pervading spirit and everything pervaded. You are the Supreme Lord distinguished as the Vachaka, the signifying symbol, and the Vachya, the object signified. Captain said, the signifying symbol means the pervader and the object signified means the thing pervaded. Master said, the pervader in this case is a finite form. It is God incarnating himself as a human being. Sri Ramakrishna was talking thus to Captain and the devotees when Jayagopal Sen and Trailokya of the Brahma Samaj arrived. They saluted the master and sat down. Sri Ramakrishna looked at Trailokya with a smile and continued the conversation. We shall stop here. Any question? He was a devotee. Was for a while he was working in military. Devotee whom Sri Ramakrishna visited many times. Now zealousness manifests properly when you are sincere. If you are not sincere, even though you may have some kind of zealousness in you, it won't go further. For a while you may do something and you stop. But if you are sincere about pursuing the path, then the zealousness will fully manifest. You are not shaken because of sincerity. Sincerity is a cementing force, and sincerity and purity are necessary to maintain zealousness. Otherwise, zealousness for a while it may come and it may go away. It may go away afterwards. It should not be temporary zealousness. Not temporary zealousness. It should be on a strong foundation. The foundation is sincerity and purity. They all go together. But soda bottle spirit, they say, for a while they show tremendous spirit, tremendous zeal. After they are cooled down next moment. That should not happen. So the zealousness properly understood. That's why zealousness applied in spiritual way, in spiritual path. That's why in the beginning I told you must have strong conviction and spiritual life to be pursued, and the value of zealousness must be cultivated. Zealousness is possible only when you maintain your health physically, when you are strong. If you are weak, even the idea of zealousness you can't appreciate. You feel depressed all the time, you can't do anything, and even though you may take shots, temporarily you may feel okay, afterwards again you go much worse than before. So like that. But zealousness must be nurtured properly. Every moment you should be cautious of what you are doing, thinking. They all help us to maintain zealousness. Lack of zealousness means low spirit. Anything else? You wanted something? You want to ask? No, ask it. Do you have any more question? There is no like second initiation. Booster is possible only when you keep contact with holy company. And suppose you had attended our retreat in Ganges last weekend. Tremendous it was. Dawn of devotion done by Swami Brahmarupananda. You know Brahmarupananda? You know? Oh, then very good. Then how did you? It boosted like anything. No, the point is, once the Guru has given the mantra, that stays on. So, in order to make it more vibrant, you have to put more spirit in your spiritual practice. You must be more spirited in doing sadhana. If you don't do any sadhana, no amount of boosting will help. See, it has to come from within, not from without, not from outside. From within it should come. You have to prepare your mind, you have to prepare the environment, surrounding, everything. You must work for it. Then only it is possible. And these retreats are very, very useful that way. Mantra is same. What we say is how you do, how to practice. That's what we do. You do like this. What is meant by discipline? Are you doing it? Without practicing discipline, how can you expect any boosting? So, systematic life and always dwelling upon the divine, that's important. That's very important. So, coming to Vedanta this way, not simply weekend, as many times as possible you should come. People take advantage of the weekend. In America it is allowed, so we can go weekend. Weekdays we are exempted. No. If they come to me, I will say no exemption. If possible, try to come every day. Don't you take food every day? The same way, you have to take spiritual food every day. Coming even once is really wonderful. At least once. Coming to the chapel, you are coming to spiritual home. You must visit every day, not simply weekend. And you must attend the Arati. Arati attending is most important sadhana. It's a sadhana. You can't do Arati in your home. But people philosophize it. Oh, God is everywhere. The moment they talk like that, I simply keep quiet. Finished. God is everywhere, true. But why you are not boosting? Why you are not getting that boost? Because in the home atmosphere is not so conducive to the extent it is required. But here it is all well set. As soon as you come here, you feel that boosting automatically. I have seen people coming. You must come with that mind. That's very important. You must come with the mind. Tomorrow I am going to temple. Let me do meditation properly. With that idea, if you come, it clicks very well. Clicks very well. So, very important. I have seen in Bangalore, a person was coming from 4 miles, walking early morning, attending Aarti at 5 o'clock in the ashrama, Bangalore. Every day he used to come. I couldn't believe 4 miles walking from Malleshwaram to Bull Temple Road. And do you know the result of that? That's called zealousness. Zealously he was coming. The result was he joined the mission. Now he became a monk. He is one of the most respected, austere monk of our order. When I went to Bangalore in 1999, he came to see me because he was my assistant in Bangalore. He came to see me from all the way from Haridwar. Just he wanted to see for a long time. So I was so happy to see him. Same austere spirit he has got. Tapas. Without his zealousness, how could he come to that level? He is definitely in a high level. Definitely. So, how you apply zealousness, that's important. Even in worldly matters, zealousness is required. What to speak of spiritual matters? Even if you have to find a solution to your problem, you have to be zealous in thinking and doing things. But it is more important when you come to spiritual life. Utsaha. Utsaha. Purna Utsaha. That's the topic. Thank you. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the ties of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.